If you can afford to buy drugs, you can afford to buy your own groceries. According to the 2012 census, 34.5% of all people were on welfare. People on welfare should have mandatory drug tests because some of the people on welfare are taking advantage of the system and spending government money on drugs, which is not fair to people who work for their money. After all, those working people are the ones funding their welfare checks. It is not fair to the people who are on welfare who are trying to better themselves. People should also be a U.S. citizen to be able to receive welfare. People should not be able to come over here illegally or on a work visa and receive welfare. Welfare could be going to people who need it and won't abuse it, but have just fallen on hard times. I feel that we do need to help people get back on their feet, but not if they are throwing their second chance away on drugs, alcohol, or tobacco products instead of using it for food. Some people on welfare exchange food stamps and cards for cash or unhealthy foods. For instance, people who have kids may not be buying the foods necessary to nourish their growing children. Infants need a different diet than toddlers, teens, and adults. People sell their cards for $200, sell their $200 cards for $100 cash to buyers who wish to save on food. The welfare recipient can then spend the cash on whatever they like, for instance, unhealthy food, tobacco, alcohol, or illegal substances. It is not fair to the people who actually work for their money. The middle class, which made between $25,000 and $75,000 in 2006, were taxed 13.7% of their annual income. Part of those taxes fund welfare recipients, who then use the money to purchase illegal substances. Why should responsible working adults have to pay for the living expenses of people who are too lazy to work for their own? Although not true for every welfare recipient, there are situations where people will take advantage of the system. Illegal immigrants make this worse. People who are not citizens should not be eligible for welfare. Not only is this unfair to working class people, but also the people who need the assistance. Welfare is not a right, but a privilege. It should be provided to people who are not abusing it. Mandatory drug tests would help improve the misuse of welfare. It is not fair to the working class to pay for people who are not using welfare to get back on their feet, but are instead just living off the government. The people working for their money have to take mandatory drug tests, and so should the people that are receiving assistance. 34.5% of all Americans are on welfare, and part of these recipients don't need welfare, but rehab. Therefore, mandatory drug tests would benefit our welfare system. Thank you.